Hello, Facebook. Happy Thursday. Here at Collaborate to Win, every Thursday at 1 o'clock, I bring you product knowledge live. So today, as in each week, since we have different topics, I thought it might be a really good idea to talk about pricing. So my goal with these Facebook Lives is to elevate the design community, to bring us all up, because when the tide rises, all boats rise. So I see and hear negativity from some of the workrooms, some of the showrooms, some of the sales reps, certainly the manufacturers, about how designers do their business. And some of that really is earned. And I really need everyone to just step up their game. So I think that most designers tend to have an opinion that they're an interior designer first, and they kind of got stuck running a business to have their business. Where I would love for you to decide that you're a business owner that is also the head interior designer, and so that the first hat that you put on is business owner, so that you take your finances more seriously, your paperwork, your systems, all this kind of stuff is so important, because if you don't treat your business like it's going to be a successful business with profits and everything, then you're going to struggle. It doesn't matter how amazingly talented you are. If you're not running the business part of that, it just won't, there won't be enough profit for you to market yourself, and that's how you get business, right? That's how the new client finds you. There won't be enough profit to hold you over in times when things get slow, when the phone doesn't ring that month or that week or whatever, because you know it's a roller coaster owning your own business. So you really have to think, I'm a business person that's also an interior designer. And if you shift your mindset a little bit to do that, I think things get a little easier. And I know from personal experience that I no longer resent having to look at my QuickBooks, having to, you know, make sure everything's reconciled. I now actually kind of enjoy seeing where the money is. And so this, to me, ties back into how we're pricing. So if you, I'm not even going to get into like your fees, but everyone should be at least $100 an hour if you're an interior designer. And I know that people are going to say, but I live in this part of the country. And that was a whole thing at Luann's weekend where, you know, somebody says, but I'm in this part of the country and we can't charge that. Okay, you have to run your business however you see fit. So today I wanted to talk a bit about the pricing structure for product and how you deal with the client and that. So I got some people who have joined. Nikki, thank you for being here. And Melinda is here, and also Deborah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining. So Melinda says, as a fairly new business owner, I'm so needing to hear this. Yeah, it's tough because I love Veronica and Veronica Solomon, her What They Don't Teach You in School. That's if you're not part of her group, please join it. She's got such great topics all the time. And it was ironic because her last newsletter that this rock star designer just put out, because she's so, like, she's in the same boat. She's like, everybody, come on, rise it up. Like, everyone get more professional. We're running businesses, you know, whether you signed up for it or not, here you are. So, so her last newsletter was on this topic. because she did a talk at High Point about profitability and how you should price things. And I completely agree with everything she said in this very long, very generous newsletter that she writes. So the way I do it is that I do a discount off of the retail price. And some people will do cost plus. But all your client hears is that you get one price and you're marking it up, making it more expensive for them to get that product, even if it means that they're actually better off because they would get a lower price in the end than if you did a discount off retail. But we're all consumers. We've been trained to go into the store, see a price, and you know, this blouse is $30. I can afford that. I'm going to go and I'm going to buy that. Or it's on a sale rack. Ooh, I get 10% off. Love that even more, right? So if you do a discount off of the retail price, you're going to be better off in what the profits that you can bring in. And your client is used to hearing this language. A discount off of retail is an understood thing to everyone. And they see the benefit to you giving them a discount. It also means that if you had a retail price book, you could bring it to the appointment because you've narrowed it down to maybe this sofa or this sofa, or it's just this one, but you've got 3 different grades of fabric. And in order to like give them the price right then and there, you can, in front of them, show them a retail price list. Okay, so this is going to be a $3,000 sofa, but I'm going to take 30% off. And so, oh wait, we're going to do a little bit higher grade. Okay, so it's 32, whatever it is, and you can do the math right in front of them. And they're saying, oh wait, that $3,000 sofa has gone down to, I'm not good with math, but we do have a calculator, because thank God for calculators, 30%. So that's $900 that they're going to save. So their price is actually going to be $2,100. So if you've seen a price as $3,000 and then all of a sudden your price goes down to $2,100, that's like a selling point right there. They're ready to write you a check. So that's one of the big reasons that I think telling a client retail minus a discount gets you your price is just beneficial for you and beneficial for them. So that's the main point I wanted to make about how pricing works. And I know it might mean shifting around the contract that you have, which you should have definitely. Every person running a business, because that's what you are, you're a business owner, needs to have a real contract. And please spend some money and get a lawyer to write it for you, because you run your business a little differently than the next girl or the girl after that. Your systems or your setup fees, whatever it is, the area that you live in, the state you live in, there may be different laws for each state. So getting your own lawyer to write that contract for you is important. I know a lot of people take the standard ASID contract and they use that, and it's a good one, but it might not be very particular for you, or it might be a good place to start and then hire someone and say, this is what I've got. I want you to tweak it a little bit for me so that it's not a complete rewrite, and then see what that lawyer says, because maybe it's only a few hours of work. So having your systems in place, like the contract, that spells out how you source your product. So the customer is aware, they feel empowered, they understand how you're going to work, because most of the time, any pushback that you get from a client is usually due to the fact that they don't understand. They don't get how you work. Most designers do hourly fees or do something kind of vague, which means that they don't know how much it's going to cost. But just like when we go to the store and we see the blouse is $30, then we're empowered with knowledge and we know, okay, I think that's worth it. I could buy that for that price. I kind of think you should do that with your services too, but that's probably a totally different discussion. But when they know what something's going to cost, they can say, yes, I'm going to pay for that, or maybe not, that's a little expensive. But then they're aware. They can decide, and I mean, who doesn't love a discount, right? I mean, we all, like, I know I do. I love a discount. I can get suckered. I could buy something that I didn't really need, but it was on sale, right? We've all done that. So that's the bit about the pricing that I wanted to really tell you about, because the net discount thing, you can get into some trouble with how much you're making on that, and then the client takes it in a negative way because all they hear is that you're charging more for it. So it creates a whole problem. You're not going to make as much money if you do it that way. And there are some vendors, they typically don't sell to designers, but they have minimum pricing. So you could even get into some trouble with the fact that you didn't charge enough for their product, because if you don't do that, then you're kind of diminishing their brand when you do a cost plus. So so those are just some things to think about when you're pricing. And don't be afraid to charge. Now, part of like a bunch of these Facebook groups where everyone asks questions or, you know, shares concerns, and one of the topics was about this, where somebody said, I do whatever it was, 30% above cost, which isn't enough. But if that's how you do things, then I'm not going to argue with you. That's what you should have a business coach for. And oh boy. So the responses, there was tons of responses. And my thing is, if anyone walked into Bloomingdale's or Target, doesn't matter what the store is, and demanded to get the same wholesale price that Target bought that blouse for, which could have been $5, it could have been $3. I have no idea what they've marked it up as, right? I have no idea. That's none of my business. I don't even think about that when I go shopping at these stores. I don't think, wonder what they paid for it. I wonder how much they're marking it up. But clients definitely do that to us every day. And especially since the internet exists now. I mean, back in the 80s, I know plenty of designers from ASID that have been in business for 40 plus years. And, you know, they talk about like the good old days. I was never part of the good old days, but back in the 80s and probably some of the 90s, you could charge whatever you wanted. And no one knew what that really cost because the internet didn't exist. They couldn't check you. And trade resources actually protected their trade resources, like really a lot more than now, so that the Joe Schmo off the street was not going to walk in and buy that for what the designer could buy it for. But the industry has changed. The internet is a genie out of the bottle. We're not getting that genie back in the bottle as much. I mean, and I'm guilty of it too. I would say 99% of my Christmas gifts were from Amazon. I'm just pressing buttons and it shows up at the door. I mean, it's super convenient. We're not going to end the internet. So we now have to deal with it. We have to come up with ways that we can all survive and make a living doing this. So, okay, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. So the internet's changed the face of things. And when we go into a store, a brick and mortar store like Target or Bloomingdale's or whatever, and we're looking to buy anything, if the customer says, I don't want to pay that price, I want to buy it for what you bought it for, they would be thrown out of that store. They would be put on a watch list. You would not be allowed back in. That is unheard of. But for designers, especially if you talk in terms of cost plus, now all of a sudden they want to know what you paid for it, because basically you brought it up, right? You said, well, I only paid $3 for this, but I wanted to charge you 30. Target doesn't tell us how much they paid for that. So we don't ever question it. We just buy the thing. And if it says it's on sale, we're like, cool. So that's really what everyone is used to. The retail minus a discount is really the way to go. So it kind of just makes everybody's life easier, right? And it eliminates that, like, well, show me your price list, show me your invoice, and things like that. And I got to tell you a little bit more about that, because I have some experience in this. So when I first started to purchase from the manufacturer directly, well, first you have to have that big opening order. So, and I did it because I had a really good client. So $10,000 to place that first order, was able to make that happen. So I opened the account, got the furniture to the client, and I did a discount off retail at that time because I just think it makes sense. It's what they like, it's what I like, so why not make everyone happy? And I charged her, I think I did a bigger percent off for the retail price, and I didn't include the freight and delivery. So I charged her a percent. No, wait, no, I didn't. Okay, so here's what it was. And I was working with a different delivery service at that time too. So when they gave me the bill, I presented it to her and said, okay, so they just moved all this furniture in, and here's the bill for the delivery price. And it was so much more than I thought. Delivery is always one of those things you just want it to magically appear, but that's not realistic. It takes a truck, a couple of guys, a whole lot of insurance, like tolls, gas, the whole thing, a building. There's so much. That's another business. They're running their business, so they need to make money too. So the delivery companies need to charge you. And when I was first starting out, I was like, wow, that's expensive. But now I'm just kind of used to what it costs, right? Now it's just like, okay, yeah, it's $200 for that, and it's $300 for this, and $150 for this. And, you know, it also depends on how many miles they have to go. So the point of the story is that when I said, I gave her a bigger discount off of the retail price, and then she paid the delivery company directly. And so our budget, which was a really nice budget, wound up getting a little bit expanded because of this delivery that I couldn't say exactly how much that was going to be. And she never said anything, but she seemed like a little annoyed that, okay, you had all those happy, good feelings about the furniture arriving, and it's already paid for because that's what they do. You got to get your money ahead of time before you pay for anything yourself. You're not a bank. So you got all your money up front. She's already paid for everything in full. If the furniture arrives, but now she's got to pay this bill for delivery. And especially somebody that's not in the business and isn't like immune to these numbers anymore is going to be like, oof, that's a lot. So, you know, she gave her credit card and paid for each of those deliveries. And it just felt not right. I didn't like what it did to the budget. I didn't like how I could tell she wasn't happy. Like it took away some of the happy vibes of ooh, furniture, yay, right? Install day. So now, instead of doing a bigger discount, I do a little bit less so that I'm basically including that freight and delivery into one price. So they get one price and it includes everything, right? So it's going to get to your house, white glove, the whole thing all done. And trust me, they love not having to write another check or whip out their credit card or anything. One and done is the way to go. If you can do that, I think it's a benefit to them because you're not hassling them with anything. I hate it when somebody's like, oh, I need another whatever for this, and I hate it when somebody does it to me, so that's why I don't like doing it to my clients. So for me, this really has been working, and I've been doing it for a while, and I gotta say, it's fine. I build it into the price, so it's not as big a discount off of that retail as it was, but there's no hassle. There's just the one check that they write me, and then we're done. I even take credit cards now off of my QuickBooks, and they take a little percent, but you know, it's no big deal. It's cost of business. You know, they're going to order more from you if you give them more conveniences. So that is pretty much all I wanted to say. How you mark up. I could go on and on about pricing, and that might be a topic I talk about in a webinar. I don't feel totally comfortable saying, here's your wholesale and here's your designer, because anyone can watch this right now. So I'm not going to talk about those things. It will be in a special webinar where we go over all of this stuff and how you can really make some serious money, because there are different price structures for each vendor. And there are some vendors where you're able to purchase directly from them without having a showroom, as long as you meet certain minimums and certain buy-ins, and you know, you present yourself like a professional. So please consider yourselves professionals. For one, I think everyone considers themselves a professional, but a business owner first, and then an interior designer. And that will really kind of shift your thinking into, okay, if I'm a business owner that happens to be an interior designer, I'm going to pay closer attention to the margins that I can make. I'm going to, you know, definitely look at my QuickBooks on a regular basis, make it a thing on your calendar. For me, I have Marketing and Money Mondays. So I do all of my social media posting and blog writing or whatever on Mondays, and I look at what the bills are coming in and what money's going out, money's coming in, all of that on Mondays. So, okay, guys, that is the big lesson for today. I hope that it helps you. I hope that you can adopt this new way, and if you're already doing it, awesome, because it's I keep hearing it coming up in all these different groups that people are struggling with the cost plus, because no one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear that you're charging them more money, and you make out better if you do retail minus a discount. Who doesn't love a discount? I've bought like stupid things because they were on sale, right? I'm like, ooh, that's really a good price. I don't need another whatever, but I'm going to buy it because it's a good price. It can kind of, you know, increase your ability to sell things. So, so that's it. And it's Easter, so happy Easter to everyone. It's kind of a cold, rainy day here in New Jersey. It went back down to 50 degrees, so I've got the sweater on. But eventually I'll be able to break out the spring clothes and the summer clothes, maybe in another couple of weeks. So that's it. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Tune in next time. I'm not sure exactly what my topic will be, but I will announce it that week. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye.